Hi, this is Taurus McBride with Taurus Technical Training. And for the last 14 years or so, I have been preparing people for the New York City Refrigeration License exam. But for the last year, my objectives have changed. Now I want to prepare people not just for the exam, but also to be the most qualified that they can possibly be to work in the industry. And one of the things I've realized is that really having the license by itself is no longer good enough. What has happened in the last several years is you can go online and you can find a lot of information regarding the questions that appear in the exam. And as the perception has become that the test has become easier, the standards by which you have to meet in order to get these engineering jobs is only becoming more and more difficult. For the last year, I've been doing very well working with people who have studied in other facilities for the exam, but were unable to pass the either the written test or the practical test. And I was able to get those people over the bar. But I realized that the way that they had learned the material, essentially just learning instead of learning the systems, they just learned terminology. In some cases, they just memorized questions and the answers was not good enough. So, in the next 2 weeks or so, I'm going to be submitting my application to become a qualified training facility for the New York City refrigeration exam. This will allow me to provide the 200-hour qualifications for anybody who hasn't worked in the field for a sufficient period of time to actually qualify for the exam. And I've already publicized my syllabus on LinkedIn and Facebook and several other different places. I've gotten a lot of feedback from people in the industry. And what you'll notice that is going to be different about my course is that I'm not just going to be teaching questions and answers. Number one, we're going to be digging in deep and we're going to learn about all of the different types of refrigeration systems in the industry, not just the ones that are going to appear on the exam. We're going to be learning heating systems. We're going to be learning ducts and controls and all these things that you're not going to see on the exam. In addition to that, we're going to be training people to get all of the different types of certifications that are essentially mandatory these days in order to work as an operating engineer. So the sprinkler and standpipe and torch operator and air compressor, all these things. Have had so many students over the years, spend years trying to get the refrigeration license, and then they're like, okay, how do I get a job? And it's like, well, no, you need these 10 other things. So with my course, another thing that's going to be different, it's going to be 100% online. It frustrates me that in this day and age, we're all walking around with supercomputers, whether it's in a laptop or a tablet or a cell phone, that we can be using for training purposes, and we still expect people to travel around for 2 and 3 hours to get to classes, and be in a room with people who may or may not have the same level of focus that they have. So my system is going to change that, and the information that I'm going to be providing, it's not just going to be like this with me sitting here with a talking head. It's going to be in machinery rooms, looking at the equipment, but in addition to that, talking to experts. The sad thing about the way that this course has always been taught, it's essentially been like going to college and having one instructor teaching all the subjects, the math, the science, the foreign languages. Engineering covers a lot of different bases. If you've ever heard me talk about this before, you'll hear me talk about this: science and technology and mathematics and engineering and all these cool different things. And one person is never going to know 100% of everything. So if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I have access to a lot of different people. I'm going to be meeting with experts in every field, and we're going to be creating lessons with these experts so that if you want to learn electricity, it's not just going to be from some guy that has no background in the field. It's going to be from an expert in that field. We're going to be talking to manufacturers. We're going to be talking to the contractors. We're going to be talking to the building owners, and it's all going to be from the perspective of creating the most qualified candidates possible. So keep an eye out for more information. This is Taurus McBride with Taurus Technical Training. The website is taurustraining.com, or you can use our old link, hvactutor.com. Thanks.